Find the area of the rectangle. I'm going to take x minus 5. And then I'm going to multiply by x plus 2. This is area. Length times width. So length, they're really pretty interchangeable. I'll do x minus 5. That'll be my length, which would mean my width is this one. Now I'm just going to multiply. I got to use a FOIL. Okay. X times x squared is going to give x times x is going to give me x squared. Outer. Positive 2x. Inner. Negative 5 times x. Negative 5x. Last. Negative 5 times 2. Negative 10. Combine your like terms. So you got x squared. These combined give you negative 3x minus 10. Number 2. Evaluate the following expression, given that x is 12. So I'm just going to plug in for x. I'll plug in 12. So 2 times 12 over 2 times 11 plus 4 minus 27. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just use the distributive property right here. So the first numerator is going to be 24. Denominator is 2 times 11, so that's 22 plus 2 times 4, 8. Then we have minus 27. And then from there, I'm going to work my way down. So now I got 24 over 22 plus 8 is 30. 30 minus 27 is 3. And that simplifies to 8. Number 3, simplify the given expression. I have 2 binomials. I don't know what they equal, so what's going to happen is I'm going to just, there's a couple ways I can do this. This is how I showed it to you originally. 5x, and I have negative 7. That's my first term. Now I'm going to subtract from it minus my second term. Let's go ahead and I'm going to subtract the second term. So this is negative 2x positive 5. Now when I subtract, I just have to make sure my like terms are vertically aligned. 5x minus negative 2x, that's 7x. Negative 7 minus 5, negative 12. I think I see that. Yep. Which of the following best describes the following number? All right, pi. Anytime you see this phrase pi, we know pi is an irrational number. So if I throw pi into the mix, it's automatically going to be irrational. Number 5. So I got Negative 34 over 17. It's a fraction. When I simplify it, I get negative 2. Now, what is that? Best describes it. What best describes it? Well, it's not a decimal, so I can count out rational and irrational. It's negative, so it can't be natural, or it cannot be whole because it is negative. All I got left is integer. Number 6, type that in a calculator. I think it's 64. So it's not a decimal, so natural. Rational or irrational, I'm sorry. It's just a counting number, so this would be a natural number. Which the following best described? Okay, same thing here. It is a decimal, so it is either going to be rational or irrational. The question is, does it come to a stop? Yes, it does. If it did not come to a stop, it would be point, and it would point out that it's going on forever. Okay, so since it stops, it means it is rational. Got this one. First thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 3. And when I do that, I'm going to get 3 is equal to the absolute value of x plus 5. Now that I have this, I just have to set up 2 separate equations. So one is going to be equal to positive 3, the other one will be equal to negative 3. So 3 equals x plus 5, and negative 3 equals x plus 5. And solve both equations for x. Subtract 5 on both sides over here, and I get negative 2 is equal to x. Subtract by 5. Negative 8 could also be equal to x. I'm just showing them on the number line. Where is negative 2? Right here. Okay, where is negative 8? Oh, right here. All you had to do is click on your test. Number 9. Which of the following is a function? Okay, so I have a graph right here. Does this pass the vertical line test? Yes, it does. A is a function. Just in case I want to be safe on this, I would go through these. This one does not pass the vertical line test. See that? I'm touching 2 points of the graph with a singular vertical line. This one, check your inputs. Do you have an input that repeats? There's a 4, there's a 4. All right. Since my 4 repeats, do they have the same output? Put 4 goes with 7 here, 4 goes with 14 here. So that cannot be a function. This one does not pass the vertical line test, so that one cannot be a function. So yeah, I had it right in the beginning. Hey, find the slope. This is just slope formula. Over x2 minus x1. All right, I'm going to try to do my best to color code this dude. This is going to be my x1 and my y1. This is going to be x2 and y2. I should have used pink, but whatever. So this will be my x2, y2. I'm just plugging it in. x2, negative 7. y2, negative 6. Now, I know it's going to be minus, because that's what the formula calls for. Now, this is my x1, this is my y1. Let's just plug it into the formula. We've done this a lot. You know, I would say enough. So 3 goes here, and -4 goes here. Now it's just basic math. -6 plus 4, I got -2 right there. And then I have -7 minus 3, -10. When I simplify this, it's going to be -1 over -5, or it's going to give me 1/5. Because a negative divided by a negative leaves you with a positive. That was one of your answer choices, D. 11, what is the following equation written in standard form? Well, standard form means that I have a constant, meaning no variable, is equal to a number times x plus a number, another number times y. So we have to make this look like this. So 3x minus 7y equal 12. Oh, wait, that ain't right. 3x equals 7y plus 12. First mistake I've made all year. Write it down. Write down the date and time. So I need to get the constant by itself. The easiest way to do that, if I take this 7y, I subtract it, get rid of it, and move it over here, that'll solve it for me. And in doing that, I now have 3x minus 7y. You cannot combine your like terms, or you cannot combine the terms because they are unlike. That's equal to, well, these canceled out because I subtracted the same thing from it. And I'm left with 12 on the right-hand side. There we go. So 12 is equal to 3x minus 7y, or 12 is on the right side, 3x is on the left, and I have a -7y on the right. However you need to look at it. So let's see here. 12 is by itself. -7y, 3x. It's actually written exactly how we did it right there. What is the y-intercept of the following equation? I have two options. I can set x equal to 0 and figure it out, or I can just remember this is in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form. If I remember y equals mx plus b, y equal slope x plus, or in this case minus, your y-intercept, then I know that my y-intercept has got to be -2. Y equal mx plus b, and b is the slope-intercept. Oops, another one. B is the slope-intercept. So, in this case, B right here is -2. No, that's why it was written, no work is needed here on your sheet. Number 13, graph the following. This is just graphing. I have, speaking of, my y-intercept is -7. So let's go ahead and put a dot at -7. I believe it says plot 4 points, then connect them. I just stated that to help you guys out on how to work the problem on the computer. So I know my slope is the m, right next, the coefficient of x, 2, rise 2, run 3. And it's positive, so I'm going to be going this direction. So let's go. Rise 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. Rise 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. Rise 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But keep in mind, this line never stops. It goes on forever. So I could continue, as long as I have a graph, down 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. and then I'd run out of room. So I'm just going to zoom out just a wee bit. And then if you just took your mouse on the day of the test, Friday, and just connected these points, then it gave you that line. There was no way to do arrows, so I was going to give some leniency there. I think a lot of people ended up getting that one right. What is the following equation written in slope-intercept form? Ha! So slope-intercept form, I need to have y equal mx plus b. So y has to be by itself, and it cannot have a coefficient of anything other than 1. So all of these have a slope-intercept form. So let's take this equation and let's convert it over. So 21 equal 15x minus 3y. First things first, let's just get y isolated and by itself. So there's a couple things I can do here. I'm going to get rid of 15x because what's going to happen when I do that is negative 3y is now the only thing on the right side of my equal sign. Okay. And I just have to get rid of that negative 3. But let's go ahead and clean this up. 21 minus 15x. 21 minus 15x. Then from there, get the y by itself, divide by negative 3. You have to do that over here. And when you divide a coefficient out, that means I'm going to have to divide all my terms by that coefficient. I'm going to divide 21 divided by negative 3. Then I'm going to do negative 15x divided by negative 3. So negative 7 and positive 5x equals y. Now all these have the y on the far left, so let's just remember our terms. I'm going to switch them up to make it look y equals mx plus b. So y is equal to mx, well, 5 is my slope because it's with the x, so I'm going to put 5x, and then I have a y-intercept of negative 7 because it's the constant. It doesn't have a variable, minus 7. See if we can find something that looks like that. Y equals 5x minus 7. Boom, C. So it's going to be one long video. Pause it. However you need, skip whatever questions you feel like you can skip. What would best describe the following graph? Inconsistent. Inconsistent means there is no intersection between the two graphs. Well, look at here. I got two parallel lines. Boom. Consistent means there is an intersection. Independent means there's one. Consistent. Whoa, I had the same thing twice. Well, whatever. I meant to say consistent dependent. That should have been a clue that neither one of these is right. But anyway, consistent dependent means they are they don't just have one intersection, they have an infinite amount of they're the same line. They make the same line. Consistent means there is at least one intersection. Independent means that they only have one intersection. So it was just words that try and jumble you up. Understand that inconsistent means they're parallel lines that never touch. What is the solution to the following system equations? In other words, where do they meet? Where do the two lines meet? Well, negative 3, they meet right here. Negative 2. No work needed on that one. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Solve the following system equations using the elimination method. All right, now I want to see this on your work. I hadn't seen it yet. I've been out of town since Friday night, so I'll plan on seeing it when I get back. But I've seen enough scores to know I don't feel great about the test. So I got two options here. I can add these two equations together because what's going to happen is these two are going to cancel out if I add them together. All right, and then I'm just left with 6y equals 17 plus 1, 18. Or I can subtract them, which is what I'm going to do here. And what's going to happen is I have 2 minus negative 2x. So 2 plus 2x is going to give me 4 x's. And then 3 minus 3, I'm going to get 0 y's. So my y's are gone. And then I have 17 minus 1. That gives me 16. From there, I divide by 4, and I know that x equals 4. Once you figure out your x, you take your value for x and you plug it in for either one of these up here to find your y. I will use this one, plug in right there to find my y. So 2 times 4, plug in 4 for x, plus 3y equals 17. This gives me 8. Bring everything else down. Subtract 8 on both sides. Divide by 3 on both sides. There we go. I got my x and I got my y. So the way it's going to look, x comes first, so 4, 3. B. On this test, at least. Solve the following system equations using the substitution method. Well, right here, I'm going to substitute something into the other equation. Right. Now, I'm lucky here because y is already isolated. I know what y equals. Y equals 1/3 x plus 4. Great. So take this 1/3 x plus 4 and plug it in for this y right here. And it's going to save us a lot of work. That's why I chose this problem. I wanted to make this easy for y'all. 4 times 1/3 x plus 4 equal 3. Now from there, I'm going to use the distributive property. So 4 times 1/3 x, well, 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. So you're going to get 4/3 x. And guys, I know how to do this. You don't have to. That's what the calculator is there for. So please don't freak out. 4 times a fraction, just type it in the calculator and you'll get 4/3 x. Plus 4 times 4, 16. Now I have, this is 3x, and that is a positive 4/3 x. All this is equal to 3. Solve for x. So 3 plus, combine your like terms, 3 plus 4/3 x, 3x plus 4/3 x. That's going to give me 4 and 1/3 x. Again, just use your calculator. Plus 16 is equal to 3. I'm going to subtract 16. And that's going to give me 4 and 1/3 x is equal to -13. Now, take your calculator and do -13 divided by 4 and 1/3 x. I don't have a calculator on me. I'm just going to do it in pencil and paper. So divide by 4 and 1/3. Divide by 4 and 1/3. Do you remember this from 3rd grade? Keep, change, flip, KCF. So negative. Please be quiet. I'm in the middle of a video for my class. So -13 divided by 4 and 1/3. So divided by, and please just use your calculator. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So divided by 13 over, and you keep your denominator 3. All right. Once I've done that, you do KCF, keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep -13. I'm going to change it to a fraction. Then I'm going to change to a fraction by putting it over 1. I'm going to change to multiplication. And then I'm going to flip 13 over 3 to 3 over 13. Now my rules for multiplying fractions is cross simplify. So this is -1, this is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. You don't have to know how to do this. I just don't have a calculator on me. So a negative times a positive gives me a negative. 1 times 3 gives me 3. 1 times 1 gives me 1. It's -3/1, or in other words, -3. All this is this tells me that x is equal to -3. Now, once I know x is equal to -3, once I know what x is, oh crap, man, you don't even have to find it. Which one of these has an x value of -3? Well, B and C. Okay, I lied to you. I will have to find it. Once I know what x is, I take this -3 and I plug it in for either one. Either one is fine. I'm going to plug it in for this one right here to figure out what y is. It's just going to make my life a little bit easier since y is by itself. So, can I do it right here? Y equal 1/3 times -3, because I'm plugging in -3 for x, plus 4. All right. Use your calculator. 1/3 times -3 is going to give me -1 plus 4 is equal to y. -1 plus 4 is y equals 3. Then my y value and my x value, if I were to put it in coordinates, it would be x would come first, so -3, 3. That was what my answer is going to look like, B. Okay, use any method, graphing, substitution, elimination, whatever. I was just saying, figure this out. That's it. And you could use graph paper and figure it out. It's really whatever. I'm going to use substitution method. I got pencil and paper, and it's just going to make y is already there. So here we go. 4x plus 5. And what does y equal? This right here. 2/5x plus 1. I'm going to go back here and finish the equation. It equals -25. All right, there's my equation. Distribute first. So 5 times 2 is 10. Put it over 1. 1 times 5 is 5. In other words, 10/5 is 2. So this gives me 2x. 5 times 1 plus 1, 5. All right, I've distributed. I'm going to bring everything else down. 4x positive 2x equals -25. Combine my like terms. 6. These are my like terms. 6x. Ooh, it looks ugly. Plus 5 equal -25. Subtract 5. 6x equal -30. Divide by 6. X equal -5. That's my x value. Once I have that, I can go back up here and plug in for either one. I'm going to not use this fraction in this case if I don't have to. I'm going to use these whole numbers. So all this work to give me my x value. Let's see. Okay, so always remember x is -5. Oh, crap. 4x plus 5y. I want to see what 4x plus 5y equals -25. So 4x plus 5y equal -25. And I'm plugging in -5 for x. So 4 times -5 plus 5y equal -25. Yep. This is -20. plus 5y equal negative 25. Add 20 to both sides. 5y equal negative 20. Divide by 5 on both sides. So y equals negative 4. I think that's right. No, what did I do wrong? My bad, y'all. Right here, I'm going to add 20 to both sides. When negative 25 plus 20 is negative 5. And so negative 5 divided. Now, divide both sides by 5, and I get negative 1. Whew, that's frustrating. So my x value is negative 5. My y value is negative 1. Ace Ventura Pet Shop sells various pets. The two most popular pets sold are bearded dragons and guinea pigs. I guess I should zoom out a little bit more. Absalom and Josiah both work for Ace Ventura Pet Shop. Last week, Absalom sold 16 bearded dragons and 8 guinea pigs for a total of 698. So the total is this. This week, Josiah sold 9 bearded dragons and 9 guinea pigs for a total of, holy crap, I didn't even put the dang number. Well, I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to take off credit. Well, where did the dang number go? Whatever. It ended up being $468. I'm sure it's just a typo that I made. So, the way that would go, I'm going to B stands for bearded dragons, and G stands for guinea pigs. So, 16B plus 8G equals 696. Okay, and then 9G plus 9B plus 9G equals 468. And again, it's a typo. I wouldn't count off for it. 9B plus 9G equals 468. All right. D. Now, this is a system of equations. All it is solve the system of equations. Now, I've come this far. Might as well work it out. So, we'll do this one. This will be a little less math. So I would subtract 9G. I'm going to write this. I'm going to subtract 9G on both sides. I cannot combine. I can't combine these as like terms, so I'd have to write them out as separate. So what I'm left with, bring down your 9B. They're now these canceled, so everything's to the right of my equal sign. 468 minus 9G. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. And when you divide out a coefficient, you divide everything by that coefficient. And when that happens, I got B is equal to 468 divided by 9. Oh, it's frustrating. So 450 would be divided by 50. Yeah. So 2 more, so 52. 52 minus G. All right, so that's what B equals. Go in and plug it in for B in the other one. You have to go to the other one right here. So I use this to find out what B equals. Let's plug 52 minus G in for this B. So trying to keep it where we can still see it. 16, then B 52 minus G. Go back. Plus 8G equals 696. Plus 8G equals 6. Uh-oh, we're in another room. 96. Whew, kind of sloppy. All right. Distributed property. Oh, such a pain in the butt. I need a calculator. 52, 16. So 6 times 2 is 1, 2. 6 times 5, so 31. Then I got 52. 2, 3. So 832 minus G. Oh, minus 16G. Plus 8G equals 696. Okay, please write that down. I'm running out of room. I'm going to have to write it on the back of this paper to make sure. Or I wonder if I can just write it right there. Let's try it. Combine like terms. This and this combine to give me negative 8G. And now they're gone. They're combined into 1. And that equals 696, 832. Now from here, hopefully you remember, subtract 832. You see that? Yeah. Subtract 832. And that's going to give me negative 8G is equal to, what is 696 minus 832? Oh, jeez. Just type in your calculator. So it ends up being negative 136. Then divide by 8, negative 8. And you get G is equal to 136 divided by 8. Negative times negative, it will end up being positive. So G equals 17. I think there's only one answer where G equals 17 in B. That would be your answer. All right, and the last one. Oh, this is a tough one. What is a better pet? Bearded dragon or guinea pig? Bearded dragon is definitely the better pet, although some people say both are pretty cool. Nobody says animals are stupid, so if you selected that, you get no credit. Animals are gross. I can't say that word. only stupid people think animals are gross. And some people say guinea pigs are best. So either one of those three, you get 6 points. So, or 2 points each. I don't know. I'm not going to count it against you for not wanting to have fun during this test.